Alright, welcome back everyone, it's Code King Zafir. I'm sure you're wondering where I was after 12 hours of back-to-back streaming, while I was actually still in the game, testing out the brand new hunters on the guild boss. When it comes to YUQI, as you can see, we've been grinding the brand new guild boss over and over again to see just how good she really is, and based on the current damage result, we got 54.82 billion damage, meaning she's a very capable hunter. But is she better than ESIL, or do we use them on the same team? Are they a complement or replacement? I'll cover that because there's one question, of course, on everyone's mind, and that is this question right here.
Zaf, should we summon them or are they a skip?
Music to my ears. So let's jump in. Now we know exactly what to do when it comes to the brand new club hunter YUQI, of course. But very quick, if you want free codes like Essence Zones, Mana Power, X-Works, and more, make sure you go to the link down below and support us. Supporting is 100% free. There is no cost at all. You just press that juice red support button. This page comes up. You press that, press yes, and you're done. Then you just wait. Over time, the codes are sent to your My page on the website. Right now, all these codes have expired, but we have a bunch of brand new codes coming out. In the next week, we should get a bunch of codes like Essence Zones, Abyssal Crystals, and more, so jump in and support that way. You don't miss out on the free benefits, of course. And a big shout out to Yuria, the first commenter on our last Juicy video. And I should mention when it came to our collab video, if you missed it, I am literally out of gold. I can't upgrade any hunter anymore, I'm cooked. But let's go to our testing results. We have our girl YUQI right here. When it comes to the pronunciation of her name, honestly, everyone's giving mixed signals. It's either Yuji or Yuki or Pookie Yuki, I don't know anymore. If you know the proper pronunciation, please let me know down below in the comment section. I have to know. And also in the comment section, let me know, do you plan on summoning for YUQI or not? I'm very curious. In my case, yes, I got her all the way to the 86 mark, but based on our testing, what is her sweet spot? Because when it comes to the guild boss battle, you can see we got a pretty darn good damage result. We got 54.82 billion in 83 rage count, which I can't accept because we don't have the fire guild buff yet, so my damage could have been even higher. When it comes to Jinwoo, all that damage coming in, he is a force to be reckoned with. But when it comes to YUQI, what about her? Can we get some damage in on her, or is she just buffer? And is she better than ESIL? Well, when it comes to our damage results, as you can see, we have a lot to cover right here. We have the A1, we have the A3, and we have the A4 and A5 advancements covering the damage gains we got. When it came to this testing right here, Jinwoo did not interfere. We just had our hunters dealing damage over time to see just how good they are. When it comes to Giant Statue, honestly, they're kind of like a damage testing dummy, I'm not gonna lie. They made the testing so much easier, especially when it came to combat. They are honestly my brand new favorite boss in the game. Let me know if you agree. But when it comes to A1, as you can see, Connie dealt 4.87 billion damage, and of course YUQI dealt 1.54. And when it comes to the A3 mark, we skipped A2 because we just got a break effectiveness increase, which is not something we need. So when it comes to A3, we got a very slight damage bump when it came to YUQI, but nothing on our girl Connie, which is a bit unfortunate. But as we go down, we start to get the buffs we want. So Connie's damage did go up just a little bit, and YUQI's damage as well. But the A5 mark, here we go. This is where the damage gain started. So when it comes to YUQI, the sweet spot is honestly at the A5 mark. You're not getting too much damage and damage gains to your team members and more under the A5 mark, so keep in mind, when it comes to YUQI Pookie, you want to get her to A5 or bust. Otherwise, she's not going to give you too many buffs because A5 has where the buffs come rolling in. But how about compared to ESIL? We talked about the sweet spot, but does she compare to ESIL, or are they going to complement each other? Do we need one or the other, or can we use both together? As you can see right here, we have the Giant Statue, we have the ESIL test no YUQI, and we have the test using YUQI here. So it's YUQI versus ESIL, and they got around the same damage more or less within the margin of error. They're around the same in terms of the buffs they provide, but remember when it comes to Giant Statue, they are giving us a bit of an easier experience. When it comes to ESIL and YUQI, the buffs we get are overall pretty easy to attain. So that means when it comes to getting the buffs, is it better to put them on the same team to give us more buffs coming in, whether on Team A or Team B? As we go down, we can see we have YUQI on Team B and we have YUQI on Team A. versus SL on Team A and Team B, you can see based on stacks we got, again, the same damage amounts are coming in. They are looking to be complements to each other. But how about Teams Libora and Teams of SL? Well, when it came to assessing right here, you can see our damage results do vary just a little bit, where Choi is not included. Based on the giant statue, as we can kind of infer, they are similar to how the dragon operates, where we do need a lot of defense penetration coming in, so Choi's usefulness might be dropping just a bit, but it is a tough call unless we build a team right. So in this case, the team was not built correctly because we have Kane and we don't have our boy Jinwoo dealing the right damage, having right skills. He's just there as a support unit, which is not ideal for the fire team. We want the Night Killer being used. That is our main damage source. So when it came to testing here, that's why I jumped in and repeated the guild boss over and over and over again to get better results coming in. And based on the results, when it comes to our YUQI, Pookie, and SL, you cannot substitute one for the other. You have to use both, especially when it comes to guild boss. For the power of destruction, I guess could vary, but if you're running a Jinwoo build, you pretty much want to have him on the team. You want Jinwoo, you want SL, you want YUQI, Pookie, and the other hunter there. It could either be Gina or Kane. We'll have to see. We'll need to do a bit more testing coming in, but both combinations will probably be viable. We have to jump in and really test it out. But right now, in terms of a consensus, based on what we have of YUQI, Pookie, we can see right here, she is a support unit. She's an HP scaler, so we do want breaker sets on her because she is a breaker at heart. So we do want sets like Desire or Greed, depending on what we're running, of course. When it comes to team in general, as you can see, we have our girl YUSO running the same set as a dragon. We have the arm set on Jinwoo, but that does not matter. We just want the buffer sets on YUQI, Pookie because her damage is fine. She can deal a bit of damage. She has no mana issues, so the Obsidian set will work on her, but we just want her as a regular support, a regular breaker, and a side damage dealer. That seems to be our best bet so far, at least when it comes to the current guild boss. If we jump into the rankings, for example, when it comes to the power destruction, we can kind of see what players are running, because right now, well, actually, we don't have the fire elemental type, so we can't really see what players are running. It is a bit unfortunate, so we can't really infer on what's going on until power of destruction does have the fire mode in, where we can test the hunters properly, because right now, of course, we don't have the right elements coming in. But when it comes to the build, the hunt rotation, and of course these skills we want to max. When it comes to YUQI, Pookie, as I mentioned, we want the Greed to Desire, depending on team we have on her, but Greed seems to be best bet because we want that crit coming in. Her passives don't have too much crit overall, or any crit damage as well. As we go on here, we can see we don't have any crit damage, crit rate. We are lacking that category. More crit is a must. She has a lot of self buffs when it comes to basic skills, when it comes to ultimate skills, when it comes to overall damage, in terms of team's damage as well, when it comes to fire damage taken on target. These buffs are so darn overpowered. But what about the skill guide? Well, as you can see, these are generally pretty good. Oh, 10 free essence, I'll take that. These are generally pretty good. We have her core attack, we have her ultimate skill, we have her basic skills as well. These are the main damage sources because if we jump in, look at her passes right here, we can see what she buffs, right? As we go down, we can see the bonuses right here. We're getting a lot of damage bonuses, but as we go down, watch, we have the shouting kick, and based on our passives right over here, if I go back, we have a lot of shouting kick buffs stacking up over time. Again, more shouting kick buffs right here, 10% damage increase right here, more breaks coming in, more and more damage buffs on her skills. So that's why when it comes to YUQI, Pookie, shouting kick, these skills are hilarious, right? So shouting kick is getting a lot of buffs, so the core attack is the way to go. So I would say right now, when it comes to, I guess, the cores you want, you do want, of course, the cores where we do get crit damage on core attacks, but unfortunately I don't have too many of those, and our damage is kind of subpar for now, based on the build we have. So you do want this one potentially to maximize our damage, but this one works out fine too. Overall damage output increasing based on the crit damage we get, which is fine. The core attacks and the crit damage we get for 8 seconds, they're pretty much more or less going to provide a similar buff, but we'll see what the damage difference is like. once we get the power of destruction in, because when it comes to guild boss, it does kind of vary. We can't really, I guess, pinpoint the damage bonus, so keep in mind, both those cores do work, but when it comes to the bottom core here, any core does work because she does not have mana issues. In fact, we probably want more power gauge coming in, but honestly, the bottom core does not provide too many benefit there. Even the middle core right here, I guess getting a shield is fine, right? Shields are nice, or less damage taken, but overall, the top core is pretty much the only one that will influence our damage. The rest of the cores can be put in willy-nilly, depending on what you have, because getting the right stance when it comes to an entire team of fire units is not easy, of course. I am running out of cores. This is not fun at all. But when it comes to our stance overall, it depends on the game mode you put in there, right? So overall, you do want a lot of HP. You want damage increase, defense pen. You want these stats right here. Crit rate is a must on her. Like I mentioned before, she's lacking the crit department, so that's a good stat you want to max out on her. Around 10,000 plus, depending on the mode, to make sure the right crit comes in. Otherwise, you won't crit, but honestly, YUQI Pookie, her damage is nice. She doesn't deal that much damage, but her damage is nice overall. If we built her as a damage dealer, honestly, she would be capable. She would be up there with the likes of Godo. Well, not fully, but her damage can be good. If we build up her damage, not support, we could see a lot of potential out of her. So we'll see based on how it goes. Right now, she's a good unit. She's a fantastic complement to our fire team, giving us the buffs we want. But don't get it twisted, she does not replace our girl ESIL, not even close. The buffs ESIL provides are invaluable to our team, giving us we're talking major sacks to our fire damage when it comes to fire damage taken on target, and also damage taken increases on target as well, stacking up to 100 times for 30%. That is what we call juicy. On top of all the team ups we get, to defense filtration, to also attack as well, ESIL can never be replaced, well, at least not right now, unless the devs give us some major power creep. She's a staple on our team, and YUQI as well. For the buffs we get from her are honestly going to be staples. The break damage, the break state damage, the buffs we get, very similar to ESIL, increasing damage taken on target, and also increasing the fire damage they take is very, very nice overall, giving us major buffs. Oh yes. But on that note, that's pretty much it for today's video. Hope you enjoyed. Pretty much covering YUQI overall, a very good unit. I would recommend if you want to make sure you're competitive, because the game is kind of progressing towards the guild boss meta, where we're diving in and combating the guild boss over and over and over again. I wonder when it comes to the all-out war, has anyone submitted their scores? Not yet. All the top guilds like Korea are waiting to see what the meta is, because right now when it comes to YUQI Pookie, she's for sure a part of the meta, giving us all that damage we want. But on that note, that's it for today's video. Make sure if you want a juicy guild to join our Discord server. We have the best guilds out there, trust me. We are top 2 right now, very nice. We have a very, and I mean very solid community, so make sure you join in. And don't forget to jump in and support us if you want free codes, otherwise you're missing out on Essence Zones, Mana Power, Extracts, and more. We are talking freebies sent directly to you. We have 3 codes coming out very soon. We haven't gotten a code in a very long time, but they're coming out, trust me, just wait. Netmarble is slow, but don't worry. I'm doing what I can to get the codes coming as fast as possible. On that note, make sure you join our Discord server and stay tuned for future videos. This was a Code Kings app signing out. I'll catch you in the next juicy video, of course.